Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer, and we are returning to Rule the Waves 3, where we are finding ourselves in a bit of a strategic pickle. We have just invaded the US possession of the Philippines, and that's pretty interesting. But, of course, even though we have been successful so far, the wrath of the US is coming, and they are specifically up here in the Northern Pacific. You can see the US of A has 8 carriers, 4 light carriers, 10 light cruisers, 3 heavy cruisers in this vicinity. And how many destroyers? 81 destroyers. All of that is more than I have by far. And that's just the stuff that they've got in the Northern Pacific. Not to mention the West Coast, not to mention the fact that we are also at war against the UK and also at war against the French. So things are going to be a little bit more difficult. The big question is, what is going to happen now and what can we do strategically? Now, I believe the big question is, why are they in the Northern Pacific to begin with? Of course, they drew up their forces and they're coming for us. Now, I believe that at least they were coming for Northeast Asia. If they can blockade us, then our point difference here, 48,000 points against 771, is going to erode pretty quickly. We're going to face some morale issues. We're going to see that there's going to be a lot of problems as we are blockaded. So I think that was their plan. There is a drawback in the plan, and that is they don't have any possessions in Northeast Asia, so it's going to be very difficult for them to maintain their fleet there. But even if they have a couple of ships that they would lose during their time, that they need to be interned, it wouldn't be much of an issue, to be honest. But all I've seen from the AI is they are drawn to fights, like really strongly. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen here. I'm not sure whether they're going to go via the Central Pacific to Southeast Asia. They could also go to Southeast Asia via Northeast Asia, and I'm not sure whether there's going to be any priority by the AI to do either way. In the Central Pacific, they at least have Hawaii, and they've got more basing capacity, so it would be the wiser choice if they want to go down here to go that way. They might also just go via Northeast Asia just because. They might also go there because it is going to be more trouble for us if they do that. So the big question is, what are we going to do? And I think I would like to try to intercept them in Northeast Asia. If they're going via Northeast Asia, there are a couple of things that are going in our favor. We've got a good number of air bases here. They would lose any ship that's damaged and have it interned, at least in neutral ports like in China or the Soviet Union. So I think that would be somewhat better. The other alternative is we could try to intercept them in the Central Pacific, but if they go via Northeast Asia, we'd be in a bit of a trouble there. So let's, by the way, have a look at our submarines and see whether we do have any in the South Pacific. I don't see any. We've got a couple in the Caribbean, Southeast Asia. You guys are all going into the Indian Ocean. You know what? I think I would like to grab a couple of you and move you towards the Central Pacific. Just in case they're going to move through there, I think that would be fantastic if we could have you be there instead. Yeah, I think that's good. Right, and of our normal ships, we're going to sort them by location too, and we're going to grab sort of everyone who's currently in Southeast Asia, except for the corvettes. You guys can stay, and heavy cruisers we don't have, so we're going to move all of these ships here to Northeast Asia. That should also help a couple of these guys here who are currently suffering some issues of some kind, but all in all that should be okay. Right, that's going to move everyone there. By the way, in between episodes I did found a couple of new destroyer groups. They are set up to do various things. Let's briefly look at that. So we've got the 7th, 6th and 5th destroyer groups with the new Uranami classes. And these guys are there to screen various different carrier groups, the escort carrier groups that are in turn there to shield our battleships. And then we've got these groups here trying to screen the main carriers. They're also located in various different locations right now, so I think it's good to consolidate in Northeast Asia and have them be there somewhat more relevantly. We don't have enough tonnage on Foreign Station, and that I think is a consequence of most of our heavy cruisers having suffered some sort of damage or the other. I'm not sure whether that's gonna... No, they would actually dislike that. Okay, by the way, we've also got our carrier here, which I think is going to be interesting. Oh, a helicopter carrier, that is. Right, we've got this radar. Let's have you be on Foreign Station. 6,000 tons. We've got a couple of guys here who are not part of any group, so you know what? You're also going to go on foreign station, and... No, you're going to be active fleet. The radar, the AV. Yeah, you guys, you are first carrier. You know what? We're going to send you to foreign station. That should be fine. Right, there we go. Turn. Too few destroyers, that is true. We would need more, but we don't really have the money. We've also got a battle here now in support of the land combat. That's not good because we don't have any ships here anymore, except for a corvette. Well, that is lovely. I'm hoping that at least that our and it's gonna be nightfall. So I was saying that I was hoping that our ships would our aircraft would do stuff, but I really don't see that. Okay, we're supposed to sink ships. I don't think we are gonna do that. But let's see. Right, I don't think we've seen anything. Oh no, there's something. But honestly, these corvettes, they are really built for one thing and one thing only, and that is anti-submarine warfare duty. That being said, if this would be, let's say, a transport ship, then I think we could take it on. It looks pretty big. If it has guns, we are screwed. Could you pretty please just, like, maybe start a fire on it or something? You do have a gun, right? You do have 2 4-inch guns. Let's really see whether that is gonna... Come on. I mean, yeah, I get that your vision range is severely limited here. And they are firing on us. They have got, what? 5-inch guns. We're gonna scuffle out of here. That was not in our favor at all. Right. Let's see whether we can find anyone else. Maybe there's going to be a transport ship somewhere. Come on. Well, at least they were running away from us. That could indicate. Unidentified ship. Large merchant class. Yeah, you know what? You guys should be able to take you on. You have guns left, right? It's not all disabled or something. No, you do. So, if you could pretty please... Okay, at least you're starting to fire. You're not hitting anything. You're strangling them, which is surprising at this distance. Okay, 2 hits there. That's nice. Come on. You need to slow him down. I think he's faster than us. Okay, chasing guys here in the dark. Oh, well, he's slowing down. I think we'll need to go a little bit faster. That will lead to vibrations and not good things happening to our ship, but we'll need to catch them. Yeah, but he's definitely faster than us. If only we could get a couple of hits in. But yeah, honestly, this is not going anywhere. So let's just get out of here. I think we're not going to be able to do anything with these guys. It's just too difficult. Right, and our ships are just not strong enough. Well, now I'm tempted again to try to take him out. At least we have got slightly better vision, but that also probably means that they've got better vision. Oh, look at that. Right, at least we did sink a single ship. Well, in that case, if we could get the objective done, that'd be fantastic. Come on, slightly better vision. Nice. Come on, sink him. Not sure whether these guys do have more than 500 tons. Well, but I guess he's gonna go down, is he? Isn't he? Do you have any any ammunition left? You do. Mostly on your forward guns, though. Okay, now we're done. Let's get out. We're for sure not going to sink any battleship or anything like that. Well. You've been hit a couple of times, and you're sinking now. Well, to be fair, I don't think there's much point in resisting that amount of forces. We are still considered the victor here because we've sunk a significant amount of transport ships, and that's good enough for this. But the big battle around Japan is not happening here, and that's unfortunate. I don't think we can risk the Soviet Union coming into the war as well. Yeah, they're coming in via the Central Pacific, and we lost the battle around the Philippines. At least Italy is now joining, so that's nice. But yeah, they were really coming in via the Central Pacific, and they now don't have any reason to go for this. But yeah, but good luck, Italy. Good luck in the Mediterranean there. Difficult. Really, really difficult. Interesting enough, the US does have some capabilities there. Just a couple of ships here under construction, nothing to write home about, unfortunately. Can we rebuild you guys here? Nothing that I see that really springs to mind. Could get a couple more light guns and stuff. Could give you an aluminium superstructure. I would love to give you autoloaders, but the expense of that would be prohibitive. Can we give you reloads? Let's try. That'll work. Okay. I kind of like that. Have steel torpedoes. It's a very inexpensive reload. Well, but 10 months. No, that's not viable. Well, but it still works. No, it doesn't not work because of the topside load. Ah, too bad. That would have been a nice refit, but at 10 months, I don't think that's really viable. Right, what are we gonna do? I think we need to try to engage them somewhere. I'm just not sure where. They've got a significant amount of forces here. And I'm not sure where they're going. They also still have an amount of forces here in the Northern Pacific. Well, actually, we do have forces and they don't. Well, no, they do have Alaska. We could try to attack Alaska, but it would be so much more dangerous there. So I think we're going to sort into the Central Pacific. Could go into going into the Northern Pacific. They've got a single carrier here and a battleship. Central Pacific 6 carriers, but I don't think they're going to stay here. I think they're either on their way to Southeast Asia or back towards the North American West Coast, where they also have significant troops. Going into Central Pacific, the worst that could happen is they stay here with all of their forces and then they come in. They don't have any reason to go to Southeast Asia anymore. Man, we need to be so careful here. They could come for us. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I still think Southeast Asia would probably be the best approach. Great Britain, Central Pacific. They might move in significant forces here, but nevertheless, let's try to do it. So you guys should, yeah, that's pretty much all that I want. So we're going to move these ships towards Southeast Asia. we're gonna move you guys to Southeast Asia. And we're gonna move you guys to Southeast Asia. So that is pretty much all of our capital ships, with the exception of second battleship group. Second battleship group is gonna stay in Northeast Asia and do their thing there. We're still losing some money, but I don't think it's too bad, so carrier battle. Four main carriers on our side, one minor carrier against 4 of theirs and 2 minor ones. They've got, oh, I should have brought the AV. We've got slightly more aircraft. We've got heavier surface competence. So we're sure gonna accept that and see whether that's gonna, well, nice, but irrelevant. Single small minefield. Some error messages that are hopefully not gonna be too relevant. There's an awful lot of them. You now have strike aircraft and carriers on aircraft carriers at your disposal. Yeah. Okay. Curious error messages here. So where are we? We are off the coast of Hainan, which is, sorry about that, which is our territory. We've got a southerly group here. That is the first battle group. Let's make sure that these guys are set to AI. That's okay. You guys can also be AI. You guys are gonna go towards. Let's try to bring our forces together here in around Hainan. What have we got here in the center? That's the cruiser group. Also interesting. Can you guys scout maybe? Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Cruiser group probably not going to be that relevant, although with the advance of missiles, I think that might be slightly differently. Hosho, you guys are in principle there to support. You're actually there to provide combat air patrol to the battleships, and you're awfully far away from that. You're very, very far away from that. Let's get you to be much, much faster and come to the south. Then we've got the carriers. You can also go faster. What's your search radius? That works. Let's be a little bit more gracious here. I think heavy combat air patrol is going to be relevant here, so let's do that. And let's already prepare a strike here from... Oh, where's the second carrier group? Are you just right next to that? Are you overlaid on that? Then it's first carrier division. Where's second carrier division? Oh, slightly offside there. Didn't even notice you. Right, can you guys be not supporting that? Can you be a core part of the first carrier division so that you're all together a little bit more and more mutually supporting each other? I think that'd be brilliant. Right. Good. Okay. Let's set up a couple of strikes here. So jet attack aircraft with night capabilities, escorts. That works for me. All of them guided bombs. Yeah. You know what? Let's ready that strike. And then on the carrier, second carrier group, let's do that very similarly. You've got the light jet attack aircraft, which I find odd. Nevertheless. And with guided missiles, I think that's going to be the best choice that we're going to make. Right, yeah, do launch all of your planes. I want to find the enemy. Run 5 minutes, even though that's always incredibly scary. You can see the recon aircraft starting there, that's nice. More recon aircraft coming in from China there. Haven't gotten any reports yet. That's really the big question. Are we going to get any reports? Are we going to get them faster than the enemy? Come on. Come on. We're awfully far out already. Oh, there's the first report. And it is of carriers, so that is good. Course 29. That's an odd error. What is course 29? 29 degrees or 290 degrees? I think that roughly corresponds to 290 degrees. Okay, let's go ahead with our strikes then. Let's select the ready ones. Let's go for this. Your job is going to be, of course, to attack the carriers in a coordinated strike, and 200 miles. I think this is one of the longest range strikes that we've ever seen, but we're going to launch it for sure. And at the risk of taking a little bit too many, we're similarly going to do that over here. Right. Because I'm hoping at least that they're going to be all there, even though that's not entirely likely. And by the way, we can probably take our battleships, go as fast as you can down here. The same is going to be true for our cruisers. Close to the distance, we've got an advantage there, so let's try to use it. Wind is coming from the south, so our carriers should be going there anyway as they're readying their strikes and launching them. And they should, of course, all be readied already. And so far we haven't received any further reports, so not sure what to make of that, whether that's good or bad. We'll see. Okay, there's the second report of 3 carriers in the general vicinity, so I'm going to be happy with that because I think our strikes are going to target that as well. There they come in. So let's see whether we can get the first shots here and whether they're going to be good. This is the first serious battle that we're fighting against their carriers. The first battle that we had was a surprise attack, so they didn't have anything in the air. It was just a Pearl Harbor type situation. The second big battle that we had was more for... They had only very light forces and it was their port, so we were very sure where they were and stuff. Okay, we are approaching enemy ships. They've got combat air patrol ready. They're shooting down... No, they're damaging one of our ships, aircraft. We are shooting down one of theirs. So that's good, I suppose. Yeah, because our heavy jet fighters are doing better than their. On the other hand, they're shooting down one of ours. Well, we are approaching them. That's good. One further of our jet attack aircraft is being shot down. So our escorts are not quite sufficient here, I would say. On the other hand, our heavy jet fighters are dealing damage to them. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the attack on the other stuff. So you're launching at the enemy battleship, even though I told you to focus on the carrier. No aircrafts are being hit. Even though they're firing medium surface-to-air missiles. This is the first of surface-to-air missiles that we've seen, I believe. Launching missiles at the enemy. Couple of aircrafts being damaged all around. So I'd really love to see a hit on the carrier here. Well, 3 hits. That's good. That's good. We don't know what they are, but we know that we launched at a battleship and at carriers. So if that is what the missiles actually locked on, that would be very welcome. They are shooting down more and more of our aircrafts here, which is not good to see. So I think we have a slight disadvantage here in our heavy aircraft. We should really try to look at that in more detail. Wow! Look at that. So Akagi launches missiles at an enemy light cruiser, which is firing 2 medium surface-to-air missiles and destroying 4 aircraft. 4. We're also launching at a carrier and a light carrier. And apparently not hitting anything. Ooh, this bad. They might have an advantage here in counter stuff. Couple of destroyers up here, more of the carriers down there. So far, not that many hits. Well, there we go. At least 3 more. So that, I think, makes it 6 total. We are at 10 missile hits in total, although we don't know how they're distributed among enemy ships. 12. And I'm gonna think that that's probably gonna be the extent of it. Yeah, we know they're heavily concentrated here now. Ooh, enemy is launching at us. One of our light cruisers being hit here, Shioda, 2 times. She's burning. She's on fire, relatively heavily flooding. Critical hit, 2 adjacent turrets being damaged, but not destroyed. No, destroyed. Actually properly destroyed. Chioda, you're not one of our... Well, you've still got the heavy missiles. And you were attacking the battleships here. We don't have any combat air patrol here, I think. Though I don't know what that is. No, that's just a medium bomber. Yeah, we're just too far away to provide effective air cover here. Still, so far 12 hits on their end, and just 1 on us. All of our aircrafts are now returning, so let's recover them and see whether we can prepare the next strike. We'll also need to be super careful in that they might now be trying to strike us. But so far, at least, we've only seen that single strike here. Bit of engine problems there, nothing too bad. We're landing here. Seems like we're suffering very little. Okay, 3 enemy light jet fighters are launching on our battleships. You guys are limiting flooding, that's nice, but you're still burning. Should we send you home? I think for now you're okay. Right, let's see how these missiles are gonna progress. One of our destroyers is interestingly enough being hit. Flooding. Some fires, but apparently you extinguished these already, so that's nice. Pretty light hit all in all. Yeah, but we're definitely seeing their wrath now. First carrier division is now spotted, and we should expect very heavy retaliation on their end. You guys are all combat air patrol, so I'll take that to mean that our strikes have actually landed already. So let's see what we've got left. We've got 20 aircraft here, 17 aircraft here. It's almost an hour for a coordinated strike, but I think we have no other chance than to go for a coordinated strike. I would like to use slightly more escorts this time. Let's launch the strike and confirm when we're ready. Jet fighters, these are just 2 units left. Good, that's it. It might not be wise to try to do that. We've seen with the Americans how vulnerable carriers can really be when they're being engaged while this happens. So it is dangerous, but I really want to dish out damage. I think we need to be super aggressive here, which is a little bit the historical situation for Japan, isn't it? No, you can actually go ahead and fly there. Please do make sure that you're hitting carriers. I am really hoping that we've done damage already. Curiously enough, I'm not seeing really that much ground-based aircraft that are supporting us. I would hope that they would do that a little bit more. Ooh, this is tense. I'm not sure where that was, but apparently it didn't do much damage. So let's go minute by minute. Uzugamo limits flooding, that's also good to hear. How are you guys doing here? You're still on fire. Your flotation is pretty bad. I think we might lose you after all. Fire spreads. We might lose you after all. That would not be a good start. There's very little I can do because I don't immediately control you. Okay, people are launching against our destroyers here. Light jet fighters. Interesting that they're doing that. On the other hand, we can see our second strike coming in too. Near miss here. Nice. I'm slightly concerned by the fact that we don't see that many air engagements against them. They're flying away now. We're definitely coming in here. Although a little bit less concentrated than I would have loved to see. Fuso being attacked. And near missed. Our battleships have been lucky so far. And while we've kept them afloat for a very long time, I'm not sure whether this here demonstrates to me that it's still a viable method to do that. Because it feels like we don't have enough standing power. It's just crossing that distance becomes so dramatically difficult. It's mostly our escorts here firing. You're strafing a battleship for some reason, which of course results in you being damaged. Launching missiles here. Nice. Also the carrier. A single hit. We don't know whether that was against the carrier or other stuff. We've very little information about what's going on. That is, of course... Wow! Well, whoever that was, they are screwed. I'm hoping, of course, that it's the carrier, but that's a lot of missile hits. I'm slightly concerned whether that's all going to go on the same enemy ship. If they are all going to attack one vessel, then ooh, well, we thought so. But yeah, if they're all attacking the same ship, then it's not necessarily a good thing. Right, they're continuing their attack on these on the battleship squadron down here, which is slowly starting to get into range. But this is, I think, the third attack or so. And Fuso being so darn lucky here. She's dodged, I think, around 9 or 10 missiles at this point. They're all near misses. Okay, our aircraft are returning. Are these all combat aircraft? No, some of them are still strikes. We might also start to be a little bit short. What's this here? Patrol boats. Naval strike. Interesting. Good. We might also start to be a little bit short on missiles. Luckily enough, I do have the policy to keep extensive stocks of missiles, because I think that's just a very prudent thing to do. Yeah, these are the patrol boats. Apparently not doing a lot of damage. Launch missiles at an enemy destroyer. Well, I mean, it's still good. But not sure where you'd prioritize the destroyer. Although with the missile age we are starting to see that destroyers can deal out a lot of damage. And I always find it funny historically how, you know, the Jean de Gaulle school of the French that held destroyers would dominate battleships was really wrong in a sense, because battleships really were dominating for a very long time. So at least when it was introduced in like the late 19th century, it was fairly wrong. Battleships continued to dominate for another half century, but that wasn't true for too long. Right, how are our strike craft doing? How many have we got here? Well, we've got still 12 ready here and more ready here. And you've actually got the guided missiles, so honestly, we are simply going to ask you to come down here and attack carriers if and when you can. How about you guys? Yeah, only 4 guys here, but 11 up here. So that's nice, although you're starting to be a little bit lighty on escorts, and I'm not sure I fancy that. Yeah, nevertheless, let's also launch you. Hopefully you can do a little bit more damage here. Every little bit of damage is going to be super useful. We are coming into the place where we did receive reports earlier, with our heavy cruisers at least, but we're not spotting anything. I'm really tense. The question is, if we were to spot anything, what would that mean? We'd probably find a lot of destroyers, a lot of very angry destroyers with a lot of missiles. I think so far this battle has been relatively successful, I hope. I'm not sure what we hit there. Could be super high value targets, could be really well distributed across the enemy forces, could be that all of our missiles basically hit a single destroyer, which was really overkill. We don't know that. I'm expecting to receive any sort of radar plot here in a second. What's our latest report here? Up here, destroyer. That makes a certain amount of sense. We've got our carriers here. You've got a lot of light cruisers to guard you. I'm not too concerned there. Well, honestly, I'm a little bit concerned because you actually shouldn't be that close because of the enemy missile threat. What was that? Okay, so there is a light carrier there. Let's see whether we can get it. They are down here. They are very close. And we are hitting them. At least I'm hoping that we're really hitting the carrier. It would be so lovely if we did that. Again, I'm a big fan of trying to keep the enemy off balance. Ooh. Who's that and why were you hit? On fire. 2 missiles. Big hit. Your structural damage is really horrible. So let's have you go home. Or try to at least. Well, it's good that they are focusing on the destroyers, or that the destroyers are at least the ones being hit here. But we really need the speed here. It is really lovely to see that much damage being dished out, but is it gonna be enough? Apparently there's some carriers up here. Sights an unknown enemy ship. Okay, there we go, finally. Let's see, okay, it seems to be dead in the water, so I'm not gonna launch too many missiles at it. Destroyer limiting its flooding. We are seeing that it's smoking. It's considered a carrier, but we've seen that that was not true for a long time. It's a British carrier with 62 aircraft, Courageous class, 31,000 tons, 32,000 tons. Yeah, well, nice. Yeah, sure, launch that. It's going to slow us down a little bit, but not too badly, I think. Okay, so we are seeing the first couple of 4-inch hits here on the Courageous class. That's nice, but I don't think we need to overdo it. You know what? Actually, I think you guys, I'm gonna ask you to not shoot at anything, because we really don't want to waste our ammunition on that. 4-inch guns, I don't care about that much. Just let out your frustration on these guys. Right. Yeah. Continue with the float planes. We do need to find more enemies. Okay, I understand that we have some issues with these guys, but please understand that they're really, really dead. They've been hit like 100 million times already. Are we going to do another carrier strike? Our guys back. So our guys are, I think most of them should have landed, right? So how much do we have left? 13 aircraft here? Quite a couple actually. It's mostly the escorts who is suffering. Right, you know what? Let's actually try to hit the last report of enemy carriers, which should be this one. You'd be coming back at night. No, you wouldn't. Curious. Okay. Launch. You've got 2 little remaining. So in that case, let's have you guys carry a heavy bomb load instead. Second carrier group. Again, somewhat unbalanced. Slightly too strong on the strike package. You've got 12 over there, so again, you guys are going to use heavy bomb loads. And there we go. Right. Are we going to see anything on the surface? Not sure why I have this. Right, there we go. Sure, do that. Okay, really do get rid of the courageous. Yes, you can pick up some survivors. Happy at least that it went down, because that means we don't need to be too concerned about saving ammo anymore. But unknown ship sighted. Good. Is it dead in the water too? Yes, it seems to be. In which case, hold your fire. It's probably already sinking. A couple of 4-inch shells probably won't do too much bad here. That might be the one that is you guys come up here, please. We are down here anyway with our heavy cruisers. Okay, it's a destroyer that we've got there. There's another unidentified ship. That's more interesting. That's a little bit bigger too. Light carrier. No, another courageous class. So I'm gonna call this a mild victory at least already. Although of course there can still be a lot of surprises. Please don't launch any torpedoes against the bad class. Okay, signals misunderstood. That's not too bad. You guys are going to be ready in a couple of seconds. Yes, do pick up survivors. Unknown radar contact. Now that's more interesting. Apparently it's a destroyer, but more importantly it is moving. So in that case, let's try to go up here to the north. I guess our battleships can continue on their path down here. No, damn it. Sorry. Light bombing the... That was really pointless. That was really, really pointless. I mean, yeah, I did ask you to attack carriers in this vicinity. But really... Really? The courageous class was not... Oh, unsighted. Now that's more interesting. Approaching enemy ships. Is it the courageous class? We don't know. Yes, it is. Well, at least it's gone now, and I think we've seen more stuff over here. And there's still a radar signature that we see there that's slowly trying to get away. It's probably just a destroyer. But I'm not sure whether we have any chance of locating anything else because it's going to be so far away. But there are more. No, this is friendly on combat air patrol. Right. I thought for a second here we might see more of their combat air patrol, which of course would be indicating that they have carriers left. I mean, planes don't really smoothly disappear the second the carrier goes down, but still. You know what? Why don't we fire a salvo on this guy there with you? Try to slow him down. That didn't work. So let's try that another time here. Two more missiles. And 2 hits. Now that's more like it. He's still not completely slowing down, but at least I think, well, he's not stopped, but I think he is slowing down. Right, and for a second here, you can fire, please. It's a destroyer. A small destroyer at that. But better make sure that he's completely wiped off. Lots of 3-inch guns hits. That should really do it for him. Right. Let's try to go some other place. Where's the truly last report that we've received about the enemy? It's down here. Well, let's have you go to the north then, and you guys can go down here. But I kind of doubt whether we're going to find that much more. I think they've scuffled off, and if they go to the wide open ocean, then it's pretty unlikely that we're going to find anything. I suppose what we could do is really... No, there's the night already, so you guys are going to kerfuffle back. You guys are going to kerfuffle south. You guys can kerfuffle to the north here, actually. We're going to go on ultra speed and see whether we're going to find anything or whether the game is going to call it off for the night. You guys, can you go there, please? Right. Yeah, these reports are now disappearing as we would expect them to do. But yeah, finding anyone in the night like that is going to be super unlikely. We do have a couple of night-capable strike fighters, and we are paying the extra upkeep to have that capability. But, well, you know what, we might go to their harbours. I don't want to be there the moment the morning comes. But, yeah, so I guess we'll need to go back here. And let's go a little bit slower, because it's pretty unlikely that we're going to find anything anyway, and I don't want to cause too much engine trouble. Oh, also weather is limiting our operations. Now that's interesting. You guys, can you come back here, and then let's ask you guys. No, stop this. Stop, pause. So we can limit that a lot more. Let's do it like this. Right, weather is limiting our operations, so that's good, in the sense that I didn't lose any opportunity here. But if the weather should be clearing up, then we do have the capability of re-engaging. Well, I say that, but I don't see anyone. It doesn't appear that the weather is going to clear up, and the second day is actually going to end soon here. Okay. We're losing Corvette. How are things looking? So we lost light cruiser, we lost a Corvette. They've lost 4 carriers and a light carrier. And 4 destroyers. That is fantastic. Let's look at the details here. I'm really happy about that. So they lost Furious British carrier, all of them British carriers by the way, 71 aircraft, 38,000 tons, 5 missile hits, Your cause of damage being again fires raging out of control. Engine room hit. But notice that this time I don't think we are seeing... No. Fueled aircraft, we are seeing exactly that. We're seeing what we've seen before. Fire spreads and fire started. So... pretty devastating. Pretty devastating. Last missile was actually decoyed, but she didn't survive that. 2-inch belt armor is not enough to really support you there. Courageous. 62 aircraft. 33. 6 missile hits. Evading. Heavy missile hits. Secondary guns and fires are started. Lots of flooding. Fire spreading. Damage control. Damage control. You're limiting flooding. You're doing fine on containing that damage here. Then you're getting a little bit more fire spreading. Reducing, spreading, refusing. But then just a couple of, like, 15 minutes after you've got dealt with everything, there's another missile hit, and that is disrupting electric power, which is really going to be super bad for you. Fire spreading, and again another fire damage sunk. Hermes, same class, probably going to be same fate here. That's the one that had been hit so many times. You're actually sinking through flooding. That's interesting. Engine room hit. There were fires, and you had trouble with them, but it was actually flooding that sank you. Glorious. Yeah, a lot of hits here that were doing nothing really. You also through flooding. And then we've got Stalker, light, just 15,000 tons, 4 missile hits. You're evading a lot of things, and then ultimately it's the fires that get you. Hull armor pushed in. Yeah, so you were relatively successful at containing these fires, but the moment that a second missile hit there, you were toast. Our light cruiser really sank through flooding. Just two missile hits here, and that was it for you. The Palace, you've suffered a single missile hit, yeah, which you did manage to contain, but your structure really is super damaged, and your crew quality suffered for it. The Bat, you were sunk by what? Machinery repaired, rudder repaired, but I'm guessing, yeah, it's again going to be missiles. Missiles are so helpful. How many destroyers did they lose? 4. That's interesting. They had 400 aircraft. They lost 315. Most of them on the ships that went down. So really great result here, at least against Great Britain. Now the issue is, of course, we hoped to deal with the US and not Great Britain, but still, 4 enemy carriers down. I'm gonna be extremely happy about that. 24,000 victory points here. That is a fantastic result, and that is not so good. Multi-demand directors increases AA and surface accuracy of auto-loaded dual-purpose guns below. Isn't that strictly below 6-inch guns? I don't know. It's still good, I guess. Okay, we are matching the enemy stuff there. Suma is being damaged. Another light cruiser being damaged. We are sinking 6 enemy merchants. They're sinking 6 of ours. We still have more submarines. Italy joining against the US. That's probably not as meaningful. Let's look at the strategic situation. Yeah, the US is coming down hard on Southeast Asia. With all of their carriers here. Well, 6 of their carriers here. 2 of them here. Very light presence on the North American East Coast. And the Brits still have what? Light carrier, 9 light cruisers, more coming in from the Indian Ocean. Let's briefly look at the almanac here. How many carriers do the Brits have left? 1. 1 at 96,000 tons? No, it's both of these, and I don't think it counts this one as I think it counts its tonnage on the Ark Royal, but not its. It doesn't show it as building because it's probably halted. I'm guessing that's what it is. So they only have the Eagle left. The biggest carrier, admittedly. But man, oh man. You lost a lot. You lost a lot. But still, the US is super scary. So how many carriers in total that we are facing off against? 5, 16 with our 4. This continues to be scary, but I do think this was a great victory. So, oh, and by the way, notice this bar here of Italy. Finally, they're getting their stuff together in the Mediterranean, at least. That is what I like to see. What have they got there? Battle cruisers, carriers, yeah, nice, good. That being said, the US here, that's really, really a problem. And notice the Soviet Union still has a lot of tensions, and they've got a strong fleet here. So, for now though, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like, and I hope to see you around next time. Bye bye.